What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get it. Let's talk NBA action. Friday, October 25th. We will have 4 picks for tonight's card. Kind of a fuller card, but we will have one prop in specific that I'm absolutely in love with for this evening's picks. And we're going to lay a little bit of juice to get it, but we are going to get it. I will talk to you guys a little bit about that later on in the video. Try to keep this one short and sweet. We got a full slate of action with the World Series kicking off. A couple college football games I like as well. And then obviously we have a big weekend there with college and NFL and the NBA weekend. So if you haven't done so, we do it every single day right here on the channel. Make sure you all subscribe down below. Smash that like button, and let's get into the picks. Quick recap from yesterday. It was not a good day. It's just something where it happens. We did we're on the wrong side of Denver. The Kings lost by 2. We needed them by 1.5. And that's kind of how it shook out within Boston, kind of having a lull performance. But nonetheless, we're back at it. So we're starting to zigzag a little bit, right? Profitable day in day one of the NBA season. And then yesterday, getting the rug pulled out of us, going 0 for 3. So we're going to look to come back, make a run here, as I have 4 best bets. We're going to just dive into those games in specific. Couple things about this is I do like to parlay a little bit in the NBA. Okay. And for example, what I mean by that is we do get a Orlando Magic team that I'm very high on, stock up on, as well as kind of a Toronto Raptors team that I'm stocked down on. Okay. So unfortunately though, I'm not willing to lay the 4.5 with Philly on the road, which is the first game on the card. Okay. Excuse me. So there is an angle where we do end up taking some money line favorites. Very profitable in that regard. I don't go too crazy. When I say that, I mean I'm talking 2 to 4 legs. Okay, and 4 being if it's a little bit more so on the given side. Was able to hit a couple of those on day 1 of the NBA, so we do get a little cushion in that bankroll. If you guys want to know more about those kind of plays, I do post them on Discord from time to time. So follow me on there, and X links down below. Okay, and if you guys have been rocking with me for a while here on the platform, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right. But the Cavaliers, for that instance, they are going to be lighting it up from three-pointer this year. Okay, we can talk about that angle until we're blue in the face. I do like the Cavaliers in the spot, but I'm not willing to lay 10.5 on a kind of a back-to-back +1, as I like to call them, when you do have that off day. I do think the Cavs are going to be one of those teams this year that the team total has not adjusted. I do like taking that Cavaliers team total over. That is one of my best bets that I'm going to have, and that will be something where if we look into it right now, I will show you guys exactly where we're at in that market. All right. Defensively, you can look at the Detroit Pistons offense. Lackluster. They started off a really bad start. I think it's just a bad game 1. We talk about that Cavaliers offense versus the Pistons defense. They're going to have their opportunity here. Okay, 3-point percentage, 19th. If we look into kind of what's the numbers here from Outlier, and that's where the Cavaliers, I think, this year are really going to be lighting it up from 3-pointers, from 3-point range. The only thing that really does scare me in that regard is when they shoot cold. Okay, and when that happens, that's kind of where we have issues here. But I do like the team total here. I am going to find this for you guys if I can get into it. Or if we look into team props, you can see Cleveland Cavaliers points. Now, this is something where I'm going to show you guys on my side of things. This is Outlier. If you guys don't use it, you need to be using it to make the best bet possible. It's quite frankly invaluable. And if you bet the way I bet, and it does save me, I think, some nights it even saves me, 50 to hundreds of dollars. It just depends on what the bets are. But if you're into hedging, live betting, it's truly invaluable if you're on the go, and you really just need to make a bet in a pinch. But enough about that advertisement. I want to share with you guys kind of where the Cavaliers are. Over 118.5. Okay, that is the number I took with the Cavaliers. Over 118.5. I think that is a high number, just to be quite honest with you guys. But it's something where we look into kind of the game and where it lands for the Cavs. Offensively, they're a scary team, and I think defensively, what Detroit's going to have to do to keep pace, this one's going to get out of control pretty quick. Okay, so I do like the Cavs team total. That's going to be one of my best bets. Also, I do have a lean towards taking the Pacers +5.5. I don't like the market and which way that's moving. A lot of people are banking on Knicks bounce back game at home. But for me in this spot, this is a game that I'm going to stay away. Okay. And another game that I do like is the Bucks. I do like the Bucks quite a bit tonight at home, laying 9.5. But that's kind of where we're going to lean in towards that narrative where that's too big of a number, similar to the Cavaliers spot and the Orlando Magic. So those are very good dance partners if you guys want to get into the parlay market. All right, but let's get into that next bet on the card where we are going to look into the Golden State Warriors and the Utah Jazz. Now, in this game, this is where we're going to lean into kind of the narrative where Golden State is kind of, I think, catching the market off guard. They're not the same team that we looked at in terms of last year. I think that we see a Utah team that likes to play with some pace. I do think this is a over spot for Golden State and Utah. The game against Portland, where Golden State was able to put up 139 total points, giving up 104. That flew over the total of 146.5. I'm sorry, of 240. That makes zero sense, but we did get 243 points in that game. Okay, for some reason on my end, it's saying that the total was 146 for that Portland game, which it was not. Okay, it was not. So we do look into it in terms of Memphis here. We talk about them 126 to 124 against Memphis. Utah was, and this is a game where I think both of these teams are playing no defense. They play with pace. As long as they hit shots, the over Utah is my best bet, 233.5. If you are able to find that number has kind of ticked up a little bit. Did open at 234, bought down to 232, and now we can find 233 in the market. So that will be over 233. Utah Golden State will be one of my best bets. Okay. And I will skip over this, a couple of these games that I'm not going to be betting. We're going to keep this one kind of condensed because there are only a few angles on tonight's card that I actually like. The next being the New Orleans Pelicans Portland Trail Blazers game. I'm going to lay the 5.5 on the road with New Orleans. Okay. I think that even with Zion being Zion, I think that the Pelicans right now in the spot are the correct side. I think Portland may be the worst team in the NBA. Not sure on that yet. Let's give them some time. But right now in its current value, I do like New Orleans laying it on the road. Quite frankly, I like a lot of things about New Orleans. I think this one gets out of control possibly. And New Orleans defensively will keep the Portland Trail Blazers down. As we see kind of a low total, 218.5. So that's kind of where I look into this market. We did cash on a New Orleans over on day one of the NBA. And this is kind of where we're going to go into the narrative here where we look at this New Orleans Pelicans team, and this is all 2023 data. And this is kind of what the issue is with early on in the NBA season. Why I mainly just do half units to start off the season is because you take, a lot of the stuff from last year and you apply it to this year. And then you go 0-3 backing the Kings and the Denver Nuggets. Okay, but we're gonna get back into it. I look at this game as a dead spot for the Trailblazers at home, and that's kind of the funny thing about a lot of these games early on. Is a lot of these home openers are absolutely atrocious. Okay, and you look at kind of the numbers here. It looks a little bit better on this card, but we do see. I think yesterday was pretty bad, but this is something where it doesn't set up for kind of the fans that have been pent up all off season, and then you get your breaks blown off you. But there is a lot of lopsided spreads. I feel like there's going to be a lot of lopsided decisions. Unfortunately, the only one that really mattered was the day one where we did have the Houston Rockets relinquish a sizable lead against the Charlotte Hornets, and that was something that cost us in the end. But that's it. We're moving forward. I want to talk about my last play because that is my favorite play in tonight's card, and that will be taking the Bradley Beal over 1.5 3-pointers. All right, minus 157. That's going to be my best bet for that game. We're looking to the market here, and you can see kind of where my head's at and why I'm taking that. I do love taking props in the NBA. It's one of my biggest things that I do research, and it's just something where with all the sports going on right now, it's kind of difficult, but I do find some zingers there mixed in, and this is one of them that I did find. I do like the over 1.5 3-pointers. I'm sorry, that's Devin Booker's, excuse me. I clicked the wrong number. We look at Bradley Beal. Okay, Bradley Beal 3-pointers, taking the over 1.5 at -150 now in the market. You can find on Bet365. This is a number that has cashed substantially. Last time out against the Clippers, albeit overtime, we did get 4 3-pointers. I think this is where he averages 3 a game. We do pay a little bit of juice, but he's hit this at 60% clip, in something where if you really want to get down into it, head-to-head against the Lakers, he has hit this as well. Defensively, the Lakers in 3-point percentage, dead almost bottom of the pack. So I do like Bradley Beal, and I quite frankly like the Suns in this. Okay, got some momentum. They needed that overtime. I think that got some rust off the wheels. I do have a little bit more stock up on the Suns this season than last, and early on, especially before injuries start to take over, I do favor the Suns. I will tell you one thing, though, the Lakers, I'm very interested in this game. It's going to be kind of coinciding with that Boise State matchup that we have going on in college football. But at 10 o'clock Eastern, I am going to be watching this game on one of my TVs just because I want to see kind of the physicality of the Lakers was kind of impressive in that first game matchup. I know there was a lot of, morale, I should say, and it's something where you look and see what that's going to happen further down the road. But I want to see how the Lakers come out, because the Phoenix Suns are definitely one of those teams that you can kind of muscle around, if you want to call it that. But we'll see what happens. Anthony Davis, I don't know if they're going to have an answer for him. If Phoenix tries to play with tempo, if they kind of play off their game, I do see his points, rebounds, and assists kind of getting out of control once again. Obviously, we're going to be fading LeBron first 10 games of the NBA season. So if you want to go down in his points, rebounds, and assists market as well, that's another angle I'd explore. But very interested in this and intrigued by this Phoenix Lakers game at 10 o'clock. So those are my best bets. We're going to go Cavs over team total. We're going to go over in the Utah game, 233. All right. And then the New Orleans Pelicans, I'm laying 5.5 on the road to go alongside with my best bet of the day, Bradley Beal over 1.5 3-pointers at a -150 price. I know you got to lay it, but I'm going to lay 150 to win 1 unit. And that will wrap up my 4-pack of picks on this Friday night. Good luck. Hope you guys all do well. And we'll see you all in the next video. Cheers.